Yo, I'm building my own dream. All because y'all said I couldn't.
Two for the team, we getting off of the block. I see him aiming at me, tell him get off of my jock. I'm gon' black out, I'm gon' black out, I'm gon' black out. Give me my ish, I'm back now.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another edition of How to Build Your Own Dreams, the podcast. I'm Aaron Knight, the president of Build Your Own Dreams.
I'm Brandon Boone. I'm the vice president, a.k.a. VP. It is.
A.k.a. the brains of the operation.
Chill out.
We're here in Tulsa today, so y'all are going to get a lot of content from us out of Tulsa. We've been here. I've been here 3 days. You've been here 2 days.
Yeah.
And Tulsa is just a different type of magic.
Yo, listen. I don't know what I was expecting.
Me neither.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I really didn't know too much about the event, but I'm so glad we came. Like, yo, Tulsa is, I'm feeling it. Like, I didn't even tell you I was talking to Sleeker last night. Like, yo, man, what's up? Trying to move?
Oh, y'all thinking about moving?
Nah, I'm about that property, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can live here for a few. Like,
you know, they want me to start flying out here to
move to the next city.
Facts. See, you're built like that. I'm not. I gotta stay in Atlanta, but we can go back and forth.
I'm saying you already said about coming out here for a month. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Properties all over.
Hopefully, I'll find a husband out here. Who knows? Okay, so we are going to hit on some of the magic of Tulsa, but I feel like there's a lot of object lessons here, so we can just go ahead and hit it. Last episode, go ahead.
What you about to say?
Well, last episode we talked about going and meeting the people, being in the community. Yeah. And so that's what we're here doing, again, going and meeting the people. But we're going to backtrack a little bit and talk about what we were doing before we got to Tulsa to set the stage. So as y'all know, we're on the Dream Tour, which is the Build Your Own Dreams Tour. We're going out to sell. We started at the very end of August. We're going to sell 1,000 shirts before the end of the year to send 10 creatives to therapy for 10 sessions. And so we have done Austin, Chicago, New York, LA, and now Tulsa.
Yeah.
We have Dallas and Austin again. We have Austin again and Dallas for 2 dates. And then we're probably going to roll out some dates for November.
Yeah.
We haven't announced them yet, but it's shaping up that way. So we want to just do a review of how Chicago and New York went. I was in Chicago for Black Wall Street. You were in New York. Mm-hmm. So honestly, we haven't even really talked to each other. We've given clip notes and a few videos, but we haven't even really discussed how it was. We flew out with our teams. This is the first time that we've ever flown out with the team, and we split them up. We sent two to New York, and 3 came out to Chicago. So how was New York for you?
It was cool. First off, them niggas is crazy. Them niggas can't drive out there. So that was
it's because everybody's from another country.
They was doing some wild stuff. Like, I don't understand how they don't have more accidents. Like, it would be a one-way, and then another, like, and the cars would be parked on the side of the street, right? But then another car would just randomly stop. And they'd be out their car with the hazard lights on. So we got to go in the other lane, opposite traffic, just to pass them. Like, that joint was throwing me off. Other than that, it was cool. Afropunk is definitely a vibe. I think this is actually the first.
It's the first time since COVID, yeah.
Big festival, yeah. Well, was Astroworld? Astroworld was after COVID, wasn't it? Or was that before? I can't remember.
No, Astroworld was post. It was in 2021.
Yeah. So, okay, this is my first festival since Astroworld. I was working Astroworld. And then I guess we kind of working, quote unquote, Afropunk. So it was cool, man. It was cool. It wasn't. I still feel like I was expecting more people, but for the amount of people that was there, as far as like in the traffic that we got, it was cool. It was cool. It was a 2-day event. So we got the event both days. The first day it was sunny, so the traffic was a little bit better. The second day it wanted to rain off and on all day. It was supposed to stop at like noon. It rained all day. So that slowed things down, because people didn't get there till later.
Because they were trying to wait out the rain.
Yeah, and the headliners that day was Lucky Day and Burna Boy. So I don't think people really just came for them, I believe, that day. But it was cool. Like, again, it's not, yes, we're going to sell these shirts, but at the same time, we out here, we outside, we going to meet the people. So we ended up meeting some really dope people. We actually met the executive producers of Afropunk. He was really cool. He had his team. They was just walking around to different. They didn't go to every vendor spot now, though. That's the thing. They came to our table.
Yeah.
It was him. I can't remember the other. I know one was in marketing, and the other one was maybe his associate director or something.
Multiple Afropunk.
It was 3. Yes, it was 3 of them. And the marketing lady got my number and stuff, so I doubt she'll reach out, but it's just the fact now they know. They heard Bills on Dreams once, they going to hear it again because we already got another connect that's connected with them. So it's about it's about hearing the name. Like, the first time it's like, okay, next time when we meet them, they're like, didn't we meet before? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So we met some cool people. We showed some shirts. We did better than LA. We didn't strike out. You know what I'm saying? We back up now.
Yeah,
it's 1-1 on the series. Which we ain't get blown out.
I feel like we're playing soccer right now because it kind of felt like a tie. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody won. But so I think we had only sold 5 shirts by the time, or like in 7.
Yeah.
By the time we got to, because I think it was 5 in LA and then like 2 or 3 online. So when we went to, actually, because we were at 16 on the count when we started the day.
Yeah.
So by the end of the first day, between Chicago and New York, we had sold like 50-something shirts. So Chicago, I think we sold like 25, and then New York has sold like 10. But then the next day, y'all picked it up, which is dope. So by the end of the weekend, we had sold 70 shirts. So my experience in Chicago was very similar. It wasn't a ton of traffic like how we have been at other cities where it's just a bunch of people, but almost everybody who walked by our table stopped. And we ended up doing a lot of interviews. Hopefully y'all be able to see them. There was some issue with the camera.
About that. Yeah.
Janessa just told me about the audio. It didn't work out, so we gotta hopefully salvage it. But we just met a ton of really great entrepreneurs. We met people who worked in community development. We met people who worked in the government, and it was just the reception of the brand was so incredible. I ended up crying in a couple of different conversations, just talking to people about the mission of the company and people talking about how they felt seen and just really encouraging what we were doing. People were so just surprised that none of us were from Chicago. So everybody was like, y'all flew out for this? Y'all drove out? And we were like, yeah. So then that makes people want to stop and talk to you and hear the story. And then they're like, oh, y'all don't even make money from this. It's like, nah, we make money on the business side of music. This is our mission, though, you know? So Chicago was really beautiful. The food was good. The people were incredible. We made so many vital connections. I just know it's going to be easy for us to go back there. But yeah, we sold really well, and people were like, it's so important to see therapy on the shirt. But for me, the part that was so incredible was having our team. So our newest team member who's our graphic designer. He lives in Milwaukee, so he drove down. And then Tia, she came from St. Louis, and Janessa, her best friend who works at our other company, she came up with her. So it was the 4 of us plus our operations manager, Dub. CW was the one who was putting on the event, and he performed. It was just really encouraging to be around the whole team at an event that wasn't ours.
Right, yeah. Facts. You know? Usually it's just like once a year for Holy Smoke.
Yeah, and then it's me and Brandon going everywhere else. But now we're at a place, one, where we can afford to bring our team out to more. And we don't even pay them to be there. We're just covering gas or flights, but everybody just wants to be there. That made me cry, too. I'm like, this is my dream. One, to have the fact that we got people working for us, but the fact that the people that are working for us aren't just showing up for a check. We can't even afford to pay them what they're worth. They're showing up because they believe in our mission. And that, to me, that was so attractive to a lot of people. People kept being like, asking them questions, and then because I was just floating. Since the team was there, I was floating, just talking to people. That's my job. our job is to build community. We had to do the other stuff, but now that we have a team, we can offload some of that. So I was floating. Every time I came back to the table, somebody was looking to meet me. They're like, yo, they said that none of them own this. You own this? I'm like, yeah, I'm one of the owners. You know, and then people were just like, your team just pulls up like this? And I'm like, yeah. So then it turns into more of a conversation. So being able to encourage other Black business owners, being encouraged by other Black business owners, so many people were like, what y'all are doing is encouraging us. We know we can do more. So for me, I was just, the team is strong. The team supported me and supported us. It's just, I don't know how to describe it.
We'll never take that for granted.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful for that. That to me, outside of the shirts and in even the relationships, it's just seeing how the team has us.
Right, facts. God definitely put us in a position to surround us with the right people. And usually you don't get that, you know what I'm saying? At least not this soon.
Right.
Like we just now celebrating
this week.
2 years. So to have this type of team, and we had some of these people from the beginning, like Hope been with us since the jump. Cause
she was our first intern.
What she was saying in her pitch at first, she was like, she wasn't saying we, our company. She was saying, oh, it's his company. Or I was like, no. Hope say we, it's us. Like you been from the jump. Like this is just as mine as it's just as yours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, super blessed, super thankful for the team.
What's going on, y'all? This is Matt, the marketing director here at Build Your Own Dreams, and we want to encourage you to invest in Build Your Own Dreams. Why? Because we help send creators to therapy. And you ask, how can you invest? Simple as this. Purchase one of these. We got multiple shirts that you could choose from, and your purchase helps send someone to therapy. Why not help send one to therapy by just buying a shirt? It's simple as that. Help us reach 1,000 shirts. Buy 1, buy 10, buy 100. And you are investing in Build Your Own Dreams vision.
So, Chicago, New York was great. The thing, though, is even now, or when we got here, we were at 70 total shirts. My goal to get out of September, because the bulk of our events happening, is 400 shirts. And to be honest, we're probably not going to hit 400 shirts unless the community really gets behind us this month.
Yeah.
We're going to sell 1,000. It's just not going to come like how I thought. And something that's keeping us encouraged right now is something that my business coach had said to me a couple months ago. Right after Holy Smoke, I was like, hey, let's talk. Let's dive in. Our company isn't money-wise growing a ton. We're doing good work. We're not broke, but it's almost like every month when we look at the bank account, it's the same.
Yeah.
Even if we spend more, we may spend more. We may have a good month of making money, but then we have to spend more. Or we may spend more, but then we still make enough. But it's just kind of like the same. And then I was talking to him about a couple other issues I thought we were having. And I thought he was going to be like, well, y'all need to do more of this and this and this. And he said, at this time, I think it's important for you to embrace stasis. And I didn't know what stasis meant. And I think we hit on this in another episode.
I thought you had said embrace spaces. I was like, okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm saying it sounds good.
I heard him say stasis, and I had never heard it. So while he's talking, I just look it up, and it says a prolonged period of inactivity. And so in relation to us, it just meant not looking for this rapid, accelerated growth. It's just, this is where you are. And he said, what you need to be doing right now is getting really good at everything you said you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And when he said that to me, I was like, that's like the Bible says, if you're faithful with a little bit, you'll get more. And faithfulness is not stewardship. So we were stewarding what we had well.
Right.
And we've previously been faithful, but I felt like he was essentially telling us, y'all need to be faithful where y'all are at right now. If you say you want to start putting out more content, do more content. If you're saying that you want to teach your team, don't wait for more money. Don't wait for it to take off.
We can do it
do
right
everything
now.
right now.
And that's exactly what we've been doing. Because again, our two main focuses this year was brand partnerships and merch. We haven't been doing as many brand partnerships this year, but the relationships we're building this year is going to lead to brand partnerships next year. So in reality, we have been doing that because a lot of times people don't like to put in the work or build the relationship. They think just brand partnerships going to come, which some do come. But for us, as community builders, we taking the time to really do that. Like, again, we spent, I think we're around $10K right now in the expenses on this tour.
Yeah.
And we probably made about $2,000 so far from shirts and all of that. And it's like, I'm actually happy with that because of the
Me too.
the people we've been meeting and the community we've been building. Like, the responses we get when we out in these cities, it's amazing. Like,
and to be honest,
it's priceless. What Russell just said, it's priceless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you said, because you know me, I was always crunching the numbers, and that's when you had brought it up. I was like, look, we gotta get to this. We gotta figure out how to get it.
And I never worry about money because I've never really had it.
Yeah.
You know, so I've never worried about money. But even I started, and I rarely ever check the bank account. I'm not promoting this, y'all. But I have ADHD, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. I'm not using that as an excuse, but I trust Brandon a lot, and I'm not great with money. So normally he's giving me updates, and I was looking at the bank account 3 months in a row, and I'm like, yo. So even I'm like, yo, we got to do, and he's like, yeah, we got to do something. And then it was like a word straight from God, from my executive coach was like, nah. You know, and that's the thing. You need somebody to disrupt your flow a lot of times.
Ooh,
you're sitting here like, we got to do this. He essentially told us less is more, which is what that's what he's here for me. I hired him last year, and his whole thing was do less and make more. I sleep regularly. I take vacations regularly now. Last year, I couldn't even afford to take a weekend off. I thought, now, like, a masseuse shows up to my house monthly.
Look at that. I'm saying everybody ain't able.
I'm working way less and making exponentially more. And it's not like I'm not rich by any means, but that's what he told me for myself. And it was a 4 to 6 month process of embodying that. And I thought he was going to come back and tell me some stuff. He literally told us to embrace stasis and then said, don't schedule another call with me until you really have.
Come on now.
That was 2 months ago.
Come on now.
And I haven't called my executive coach yet because I'm like, oh, we got to embody this.
That's how we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We're going to close this year out with just how we started. Brand partnerships.
And merch.
And merch, we've been doing hella good because we've been on the ground.
We're over double what we sold last year.
Yeah, we on the ground moving now. Online, that's a whole different story. That's on my list for next year. Like,
if somebody who has proven tactics wants to help us sell merch online, I'm not talking about somebody who's like, you should watch this and do. We've hired consultants. We've spent a ton of money on the ads.
And we know it's just, I don't have to, so I'm the person that usually does the ads. I understand ads. I get the game. Although it has changed a little bit. I'm not as hip, but I know it. Like, but I don't have the time. Like, that's time that I shouldn't be spending on.
Facts.
It's other things more important that I should be focused on than running ads. So, if you that person, if you watching this, hit us up. We ready to hire you starting January 1.
January 1.
Oh, well, after New Year's. January 15th, hit us up.
Yeah,
we ready to hire you.
We'll be on vacation the first
But yeah,
months.
I just want to reiterate, like, if you're in a place right now and you feel like you're not growing, just sit back, breathe, take a moment, look at everything you accomplished this year, because we're about to be at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure you've been killing it, and embrace Stasis.
Yeah. Gratitude will help you first and foremost. Like, being grateful, that's something you're never going to hear not escape from us is gratitude.
Yeah.
That's what we keep talking about. We just keep making so many relationships and meeting so many people. I was on a panel yesterday, and then we led a breakout session today. That a year ago, we were dreaming of people caring enough about what we were trying to teach, and now we're getting invited out to cities we've never been in, you know, so sit back and be grateful. But 2, after you breathe a little bit, what is it that you're saying that you want to do that you're not doing?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times the best step is the next step. That's one of my favorite sayings. And so a lot of times people are like, well, I'm trying to do this. We just came back from dinner teaching. Somebody was like, let me take you out to dinner. And they made us an offer and we accepted it. It was not just dinner. It wasn't just dinner, but they made us an offer. We accepted it. So they were asking us about, what do I want to do this, and this. And they gave us essentially where they want to be probably 5 to 6 years from now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, what problem are you solving? They kind of went all around the world. And then he goes back to being like, there's no studios here, so I got to go to Dallas. And I'm like, if there's no studios, that's the problem you're solving. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Go build a studio, you know? And so what's your next step? How can you be better at that? Our next step was we needed to put out more content because we need to tell our story more. Everybody's like, y'all do a lot, but we don't know what y'all do. So right now, we'll talk about it next episode, but we met with a lot of people to help us refine our story. And everybody just essentially told us, you need more clarity and you need more content to support that clarity. So instead of being like, we should be making more money, people need to be paying us for these classes, we said, okay, let's sit down and do it.
Right.
And now we're here, embracing Stasis. So be grateful and then do what's the very next thing in front of you.
Come on now, preach. I think that's it for this episode.
If y'all have any questions about this episode, hit us up. You can DM the Just BYOD page. Yeah, and we want to answer, or you can ask on YouTube, wherever you see this. If you have questions, ask us. If there's something deeper you want to know about in this episode, let us know, and we'll film another episode around it.
Yep. As we always say, you know what I'm saying, like, share, comment, tell a friend or tell a friend. Go online right now, justbyd.com or shopbyd.com and buy a shirt. Help us reach our goal, and we'll see you next episode.
See you next episode.
Peace.